What is up, everybody? Toboverse here today, and I found this thread so funny on Reddit. So apparently, people keep calling the GameStop store for retro consoles and retro controllers, which is pretty hilarious and it'd be slightly annoying at the same time too. But the thread writes, "For all those still asking, no, I did not have the Nintendo 64 controllers in store. It's 2020 and I'm not a retro game store. Stop calling the ass." And that is pretty funny. I have worked in retail before in electronics. I used to work at Target. And when I worked at Target, we had the Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. And people used to call in all the time or come into the store and ask for like Nintendo Wii games or accessories. And it's kind of like I gotta tell people like we don't sell Nintendo Wii games or Wii accessories in the store because it's like the Nintendo Switch is out, Nintendo Wii is old. But then they have like, hey, you got this. What is this Just Dance game right here? Because Ubisoft, for who knows why, they still make Just Dance for Nintendo Wii and sell it in the store. So I gotta explain like, hey, this is a one-off thing. We don't usually sell Nintendo Wii games in store. Or they ask like Xbox 360 games or PS3 games. And then we have like a clearance section or like a value game section. And sometimes it'd be 360 games, but we didn't sell 360 games or PS3 games because it's like the new generation of stuff is out. But it's like it'd be a one-off where you find like a 360 or a PS3 or a Nintendo Wii game. That's kind of like we don't sell that stuff. Or we'll have like guests ask for like, especially like the older guests or older customers, they would ask if we still sell like VCRs or cassette tapes and stuff like that. It's kind of like, yeah, we don't sell this stuff. This stuff is it's definitely considered retro nowadays. So I understand where he's coming from. But let's read these responses. These should be pretty hilarious. Someone asked me where the new Nintendo 64 games were the other day, and this is 2020. So all these PS3 games are pre-owned, a regular occurrence. So you expect to find some brand new PS3 games, and yeah, that is pretty crazy in 2020. Like to find brand new ones. Yeah, had a lady get real upset there were no new 360 games. Like seriously, I had a guy today pissed because he thought we should have more 360 games in stock. I want the used one. That's great since all of that exists. That is pretty fun. They got so many customers that ask for like new PS3, new Xbox 360 games. That's crazy. But it's a new generation of consoles. It was like two. That's like two generations because we got the Xbox One, the PS4, and now we got Xbox Series X and Xbox and the PS5. So that's two generations ago. People want to find new games, which is pretty insane. Um, Let me see. Unfortunately, I only hear the phrase about Ask Creed Valhalla or Miles Morales. We don't have any. We don't have new in stock. Sorry, buddy. They're in 1996. That's ridiculous. I don't know. Try eBay. LOL. You would think a lot of these people would just try eBay if they want to get like all these older games, all these older accessories, like a Nintendo 64 controller. eBay would probably be their best bet. Even though I do know GameStop sells, they do sell retro accessories and games online. I don't know why they just don't buy it online like most people. Um, surprised they are not surprised they are not taking talking about the Commodore 64 games and a CRT TV. Wow, that is definitely before my generation. I heard of a Commodore 64. I have not seen one, and I don't know the CRT TV is. I think those like one of those big fat TVs, those big huge ones. Let's continue on. But you got a PS5 for me in the back door, right? By a Christmas miracle, my cancer-ridden son lived to see just lived to see one more day, in the hopes he can get one. So if you tell me you don't have one, his death is on you and you alone. Jeez, that got dark real quick. Oh, he has cancer. Well, why didn't you say? Why do you say so now? I have to sell you one. I'll be right back. Goes and screams in the back. Sorry, appears another child with only had hours left to live. Got the last one. Sorry. Can I have his stuff? Guess I have to live with that then. The thing that bothers me more is that once you tell people, they get indignant that we don't have stuff for a concert from 25 years ago. Like you don't see people get pissed off at a car dealership because they don't have a new condition 1995 Toyota on the lot. People can't handle change when it's inconveniences them. Yeah, no kidding. Or the fact we get calls in day out with people furious we don't have consoles in stock at all. Like I'm sorry, you do realize it's the week of Christmas and no GameStops have like anything in stock, right? That is true. It's like that is probably the most. That's probably when they get the most sales, like the the week before the 25th of December. So I used to work as a car salesman, and my old dealership had a 2001 Toyota Avalon that looked brand new in 2017. It was pretty awesome, and I bought it up immediately. I don't know what they got to do with those though. Okay. But that P5, you got them? No. Darn, even at a Persona 5, not her Persona 5 was a crown to be honest. How about Miles Morales for the PS4? I heard that game is very hard to find nowadays. I bought my copy for the PS4 like when it first came out, but I heard that this is extremely hard to get copy of the game for some reason. Like they have a huge amount of Miles Morales for the PS5 physical copies, but they don't have a large amount of Miles Morales for the PS4, which is very odd. So that might be worth more than like you could probably make some money off that copy of Miles Morales together for this physical copy for the PS4. But back to the thread, my store received like 50 copies and sold a handful a week of, and sat on them until right before Christmas. Maybe if people bought them when they released, we would have been replenished. But who am I kidding? We don't get replenished or anything these days. Someone called our store asking for one. We told them no, we only sell the Switch. Then they asked what the difference was between the two, between the Switch and Nintendo 64. What? And so they asked the difference between the two, and the next time we'll get new 64s in. That is so ridiculous. Like new Nintendo 64s. That Nintendo 6, they had Nintendo 64 when I was a kid, so that had to be like in the 1990s. Like, wow, that's a huge gap. So he says, then they asked what is the difference between the two? About 21 years and 10,000 polygons. That'd be a funny response to get somebody on the phone. And you can sell the same Mario game, and you can sell the same Mario game on both of them. That's all that really matters, right? Oh, because Mario 64. No, okay, that's pretty clever. Man, I wish Nintendo would just release a retro greatest hit set, also aka a rare replay. The 64 had a bunch of great games that would be perfectly serviceable on a handheld, be it 3DS or Switch Lite. That'd definitely be a cool thing to release like those old 64 games on a Switch, like you said, greatest hit collection. That'd definitely be pretty nice. But Nintendo probably won't do that because they need to make money, a lot of money, so they probably won't do that. It'd be nice of them to do that, but they probably won't do that. Let's see. They have to be trolls, right? This can't be real. Sure it is. Stuff like this happens all the time. A couple weeks ago, I had a woman come in saying she needed the game that came out in 2020. Don't know which console she needed for any wait. Didn't know which console she needed it for or any idea what the game even was. So I just sold her Animal Crossing. That is pretty funny. So he says a woman came in just asking for a game that came out in 2020, and she doesn't even know what the game is. That's insane. Like what? So he just forced to sell her Animal Crossing. That is pretty funny. Has someone asked me where the Xbox 360 One games were today? He definitely had a 360. His kid bought him a case for Teen Sonic Racing Xbox One. He told his kid that it was for the Genesis, not what they had. What? Shortly after, I had someone try to use a photo of their ID saying they left their ID at home, and that's what? I don't know what they. He tried to play with a PS5 PlayStation card instead of he tried to use a PlayStation gift card instead of paying for a game with the store. That is definitely weird. That is some crazy stuff right there. It's been slower today than most days after Christmas, but the dumb is still there. It hurt my head. He also wore his mask barely along his top lip. Yeah, I hate when people do that too. I see that a lot of people wear the face mask. They don't even wear the face mask properly. They wear the face mask. It doesn't even cover their like nose. It just covers like up to their lip. And it's like right there. Like you're not even wearing a face mask properly. Like that is pretty annoying to see. I worked for Best Buy. Had a lady ask for a Wii on Christmas Eve. I thought maybe she was confusing me with a Switch. No, she wanted a Wii. She lost her GT mind when I told her they haven't made them in years. I had someone looking for a brand new PS3. Yeah, so GameStop probably gets. I'm pretty sure the GameStop staff probably gets these crazy questions about this nonstop about selling these old systems. It's kind of like we're in 2020. Like, what store sells all this old stuff? Like, that is pretty funny. Can you check in the back? Sorry, I don't have a back room, just the bathroom. Can I use the bathroom? Sorry, it's out of function right now. When do you think you'll be getting more function in? That is pretty funny. Hey, you got any of those Atari 5200 controllers? So my son's got a Amstrad GX 4000 and he needs a controller. I don't know what that even is. Y'all got any of them 5.25 floppy disks? Yeah, so these comments are pretty funny. It's like, but what happened to all those Nintendo 64 controllers from when you merged with Funko? How long ago was that? With the Funko store was around. That is definitely pretty funny. Not really the people fault when they did advertise about retro stuff. Shaking my head. Blame corporate. Honestly, for a while they did make it sound like you can find any kind of game, new or retro, in the store. I need some Sega Genesis. I need some Sega Genesis controllers. Can you help me? So this is a pretty funny thread. That's most of the comments in this thread, but this is pretty funny. GameStop probably gets asked constantly about these older systems, like this guy that made the thread about the 64 controllers, and they probably constantly get asked about the PS5 and Xbox Series X. They have that in stock too. So the GameStop employers are probably definitely going through it, but this has been a funny thread nonetheless. And yeah, that concludes this video. Definitely see the comments down below. Leave a like this video as always. Thanks for watching and peace.